Hey guys, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, and today I want to talk about what's next after Future State. And here I have an article I'm going to go through IGN, written by Jesse Sheehan, updated on December 7th of 2020. It says, after Future State, every new DC Comics series confirmed for 2021. Now, if you're not familiar with me and my channel, recently I've not been a big fan of Future State. I think it's going to be a time when we save some money and just back off for a while and wait till the new series start. And I'm going to talk about that as I go through this article and my thoughts about that and why. Now, I am looking forward to more Super Sons, so hopefully we'll get something on that. But otherwise, it is, this is, in my opinion, a soft reboot. They're not going to call it a reboot, but in a way it is. So let's see what happens here. It says, while DC is gearing up for Future State, a 2-month-long crossover that reveals the state of the DCU 10 years in the future. I'm not a big fan of those kind of things. The publisher also has an ambitious plan for what comes next. I will say it's pretty ambitious when we see who they hired for writers. Not a big fan on some of them. Beginning in March 2021, DC will launch a number of new ongoing series and welcome new creative teams on existing titles. In other words, sort of, the next transition, which we get new creative teams often and things like that. I don't know why comic books think now they have to reboot the series entirely and everything. You can't just make it continuous. Yet they always harp it. They want a good jumping on point. Well, they make it harder when, if it's a lot easier if it's like issue 500. Now, this is my opinion. And then the new team jumps on and it's issue 501 rather than, it's Teen Titans Volume 6, Issue 3. It's just, they make it too complicated, in my opinion. Just keep the numbering. People will be able to follow. They can make that a point. They put a new creative team on the comic. I mean, people in the know, or a simple search online, you'll be able to see which issue a new creative team launched. Comic book shops can do that. They just make it harder than it needs to be. Anyway, with this, after this Future State event, the goal is to give readers a fresh jumping on point in the aftermath of Dark Knights, Death Metal, and Future State, even though they claim they're not rebooting. And they're not really rebooting, it's sort of a soft reboot. So with the scope of DC's March 2021 relaunch is still being revealed, several of these books were announced. So let's check them out. Alright, so here we go. We're going to scroll down. Here we got, who we got here? Alright, we have the Swamp Thing. Right, a character has never really had a real good successful run, but DC doesn't seem to ever give up on it. DC is finally giving Swamp Thing his own monthly series again, the first for the character since the New 52 Swamp Thing ended in 2015, and we see here it's a creative team here. I don't have a whole lot to say about that. It should be interesting to see here. It says, little is known about the plot of the series, but the cover art for Swamp Thing #1 shows that it appears to be Swamp Thing emerging from the body of Alec Holland, suggesting DC may be hoping to reestablish it in 2 separate characters again. Which, that'll be interesting to see if that, or maybe, let's hope it doesn't split off from him and go into somebody else just for, changing character's sake, for diversity pushes or things like that. I don't think they've ever given a big enough push for this character and gave him enough time. We also have Justice League Dark. Once again, we're going to see Swamp Thing again. DC has also confirmed the monthly Justice League Dark series will be continuing after Future State, with Ram 5 remaining on board. Ram V, how am I supposed to say? I see a Roman numeral, I say 5 when I see that. What can I say? I don't know really what to say about this. I haven't been reading this book, so I don't know. I'd like to know your thoughts on this book. Is this one I should check out? I have not been checking out Justice League Dark. I'd like to hear your opinions on that. Maybe it's something I should. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is one I've dabbled in here and there. I just find it hard to continuously keep reading it. I'll check in for a little while and then check out. So here we go. We have Becky Clowin and Michael W. Conrad and Travis Moore. The monthly Wonder Woman series will continue on with its current numbering. Thank goodness. But the series will welcome a new creative team. Once again, I think thank goodness. I don't like the previous way it was going. And here we are from this person here, the Punisher, and Michael W. Conrad from Doom Patrol. I think this could be a good creative team for this, but I'm not sure. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. With Travis Moore here, I just think this has potential. This is one of them I think has some potential to move in the right direction. The art above has a more ensemble-focused approach to the series, increasing. Interestingly, it appears both Yora Flora and these characters. In other words, you're going to pump it up with more characters. I think that's good. That's one thing I think Wonder Woman's always needed, is more emphasis on her characters with her and a little bit more definition of the creative characters behind her. Let's let that get a little bit bigger. Let's explore those connections with Wonder Woman. They've never done, in my opinion, a great job of that. Now, the next one is another one that I'm looking really forward to. I'm hoping it won't be garbage, and that's going to be Teen Titans. Teen Titans has always been hit and miss with me. Teen Titans usually starts out hot, does really good, and then starts to fizzle. Like, for example, the last Titans volume, I think the team it started with was amazing. It was a great, and then it sort of dwindled down. And when they shifted the members of the team, it went down, in my opinion. But it is what it is. I tend to think this is an interesting look of what we're going to get here. So we have Tim Sheridan and Rafa Sandoval. And it says Teen Titans Titans, they give that information, are sticking with the franchise in March, and they're spearheading a new ongoing series called Teen Titans Academy. I wonder if that's a rip-off of Marvel. The title suggests the series will explore the origins of the Teen Titans superhero school featured in Future State era, and will be interesting to see if the comic book debut of Red X in the Future State Teen Titans plays into the new series. And that's the one negative I have against it, is tying into the Future State, which I'm not really wanting to jump into. But it does have some interesting characters. Especially since the last way the Teen Titans went, I wasn't a big fan of the last Teen Titans series. So this I'm having higher hopes for, but maybe they'll let me down. I don't know. And talking about letdowns, let's talk about probably my biggest letdown is going to be the new Green Lantern. Now let me explain why as I go through this. The new Green Lantern really quite saddens me. And I'm going to say right up front why. The creative team. Jeffrey Thorne and Tom Rainey. And Jeffrey Thorne is probably the biggest question mark, and why I'm going, oh boy, this probably isn't going to be good. Now, Grant Morrison and Leon Sharp are ending on their run. And I'm going to tell you, I wasn't the biggest fan of this run either. I liked the run before that. I liked seeing Green Lantern more as a team-based book with all the characters sharing a lot of spotlight. I like the focus on Hal Jordan because he is, really, let's be honest, he's the main upfront Green Lantern. But the other ones are awesome too. I mean, there's a lot of great Green Lanterns here. John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Simon Baz. There's just a really, really good lineup of characters in this group. And it's nice to see them. When we were seeing those, and then we went to Grant Morrison's run, we really didn't. It's just focused on Hal Jordan. Now, we're not going to see, there's the thing, we're not going to see, I can almost guarantee, a focus on Hal Jordan here. And that's why I sort of don't like what I'm hearing. It's because Jeffrey Thorne has been very open in public on tweets and things that he doesn't like Hal Jordan. Clearly, in my opinion, he doesn't read Green Lantern, because he kept referring to the best part about Hal Jordan was him being Parallax. He's a cardboard cutout character. If you think that, you don't know Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan is nearly fearless. He rushes in. He's sort of a loose cannon, which makes him interesting in that regard. Yes, he's clear-cut and good and evil and what's right and what's wrong. But that's good too. Why can we not have heroes that believe in heroics anymore? Why do they always have to be morally gray? And, some people say, well, that's what's with Parallax, and that's true. I wasn't a big fan of the Parallax thing. Yeah, it was sort of cool that he was Parallax, an anti-hero, if you will, but I liked Green Lantern Hal Jordan as a hero. I never seen him as stale like some people did. I think people that seen that didn't, understand the Green Lantern series, because they only pick up an issue here or there, and I can understand that. If you only picked up an issue here or there of Green Lantern, you're probably going to be lost, and it's not going to be interesting to you. But if you consistently read Green Lantern, you'd understand all the lore behind him, and he's quite an interesting character. But once again, I digress here. So anyway, Jeffrey Thorne doesn't openly does not like Hal Jordan. So we're probably going to see a push on John Stewart, which he can't even spell right, by the way, in his tweets. But John Stewart's awesome. So that's another great Green Lantern. Hopefully we're going to see more of that. But anyway, it says here, Future State Green Lanterns Jeffrey Thorne and Tom Rainey will reunite for Green Lantern. It remains to be seen which character or characters will be headlining the series. Once again, we're pretty sure it won't be Hal Jordan. The Future State series will emphasize John Stewart rallying the Corps after Essential Power battery goes out, which is my thought. It's going to focus on John Stewart. Now, why hire this guy? I don't know. That's the thing. Jeffrey Thorne, I know DC's having trouble. Maybe they got him at the budget bin, and they probably should have as a writer, because he's out there in public. He's been making some things that could make, people point out, saying that he's a homophobe or a transphobe, as well as mean to women. He just doesn't seem like he's got his act together in the public eye, which, I'm sorry, DC, you need people in the public eye that know what they're doing. The last thing you do is, when you're having a hard time selling books and you need to increase your market share, is having an idiot out there that does not know how to handle social media. And that's something we're going to see here. This guy's a ticking time bomb to cause trouble. Hopefully his book will be good, but I fear that it won't. All right, the next one might be a little bit interesting, is the Suicide Squad. And the Suicide Squad. Here, creative time, Robbie Thompson. And I'm not even going to say this person's name, because I'm just going to butcher it, because that's what I do. It's not out of rudeness. With a new movie on the horizon, it should come as no surprise that DC is relaunching the monthly Suicide series in March, which has had no direct impact on comic book sales. They haven't. both Marvel and DC have a tremendously bad record of taking hit movies or movies that do somewhat well, or at least take that public attention and transfer it to comic sales for multitudes of reasons. That would be another whole video in itself. Hopefully, this maybe will be the opposite of that. The new series will be helmed by Supernatural's Robbie Thompson and Green Lantern's artist Aduro. Once again, I cannot say his name right. Okay, sorry, dude. Both the title of the series have the emphasis on Peacemaker, played by John Cena in the movie, which I don't know if I like that or not. Well, we'll see. I'm not going to pick on it till I see it. If that covers anything to go by, the team roster may be completely different from recent DCU incarnations, with even Harley Quinn saying farewell and making room for newcomers like Taylor Swift. And I think that would be a good idea. I think people are getting a little bit fatigued of Harley Quinn, especially with how they made her into a good guy. Some people love that she's a babyface now. Some people loved her as a heel. I've got no comment on that, but I know we have had her thrown in and shoved into lots of books on us lately, and they've really pushed her in the front. She's sort of like the Captain Marvel in a way, but more successful than Captain Marvel of Marvel. And what I mean by that is they took a character that just wasn't getting the much grip, changed the character significantly, and then pushed him hard in the public. You know, they turned her from a crazy bad villain with the Joker to somewhat of a hero. You know, and that's an interesting take sometimes. Now, they didn't do that, of course, with Captain Marvel. They took Captain Marvel and they changed her, took her name away, from Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel, changed her attitude completely, and then shoved it down everybody's face like she's the ultimate woman. And they each put a big focus on this person to carry their franchises. And I think Harley had more success in that regard, because you look at the reboots consistently with Captain Marvel, and the sales numbers, you know, just they don't translate. But we'll see. I think it's a good time sometimes to take that character out of the cram box, if you will. Put some other characters in, give them time to shine, and give people a rest on that character a little bit, and then see how they gravitate when they come back. And maybe we'll see that too with the Green Lantern series. You know, take Hal Jordan out of the crayon box for a little bit. I think part of the reason is because the HBO show is probably not going to have Hal Jordan, or it's going to focus on other characters, which once again is okay. I love the Green Lantern franchise and the characters in it, though I think Hal Jordan deserves the attention. He deserves some good attention. He deserves a good writer, because I don't blame the movie on the actors and things like that. I blame it on the writers. Anytime you have a villain that you can't really see well and things is usually a problem. There's just a lot of issues with the writing of that Green Lantern movie. It could have been spectacular. I hope Hal Jordan gets more respect and gets another shot like he deserves. All right, so as I said, this book here, I think this could be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it, to learn a little bit more about characters I don't know as much about. We also have Dark Detective, and we have the same writer that's going to be taking over Batman here. That does make me scratch my head a little bit, because she's a young adult writer here. It's a good takeoff from Future State again, Dark Detective. Also featuring the Red Hood, though, which I'm looking for the Red Hood because I love some Red Hood. It says this is the same person once again writing the detective comics, so she's known for young adult stuff, you know, novels. I'm not real big fan of that, but maybe she'll be able to make this transition. I don't know. Detective Comics will feature a new creative team. Yes, we know that. With these people here. she seems to be a bit of a feminist, this writer does, and that's why I go, well, how's she gonna write Batman? But I hope she surprises me, makes their debut on the series. And I love this part, how this is just hilarious to me. She's also notable for being only the second woman to write a core monthly Batman comic after Devin Grayson. She will be writing the Batman comic. It's like they give her the notoriety before she's even written it, and we don't know if it'll be even good. So nice writing there, people. Then we have Batman and Superman. Always an interesting team up, yeah, since the days of old, right? And here we have the people that are involved in here. This team up series, Batman Superman, will continue after Future State with Superman veterans Jean Lu Yang. Superman smashes Clan, and then we have Ivan Riaz, Superman, joining forces in the series. Now, I don't think anybody could argue. We all want to see the Klan go away. I hope you do, right? Once again, I think that was just a play off of politics and the time. I'm not a big fan of comics that, but I do know they always do have some connection to reality. I'm not I understand that. Don't get on me, okay? I just hope this will be a decent book and not constantly throwing in politics and things like that. And then we have, and I just got done saying, take Harley Quinn out, but I don't mind Harley Quinn having her own book as long as she's not in every book. Like we've been seeing her in Batman, we see her in Suicide Squad, we see her in tons of stuff. Put her in her own book, let somebody handle her, hopefully can write her well, and let her see if she can survive. So here we have the creative team here, Stephanie Phillips and Riley Rossimo. The most recent Harley Quinn series just ended with August issue 75, and we're not surprised to see DC relaunching this title past, post Future State. The new volume is written by these people here, and I think, I give her a chance on her own. We'll see how it happens. We'll go from there. And then we have Batman, a book I've been enjoying a lot. I've been enjoying Batman, especially since Tom King got off the book, because, boy, I was not a fan of Tom King on that book at all. And here we go. We have James Tynion and George Jimenez, which, man, I cannot speak the names of people at all. While DC hasn't officially revealed what's to come for their flagship Batman title after Future State, current writers have previously hinted as long-term plans for the book. I think that's good, because when they took over the reins off of the book after Tom King, I think the book moved in a much better direction, and we're getting Batman back again. Thank goodness. I am looking forward to more Batman under this creative team. Probably the book I have the most praise and hope for to continue being good is this book here. Alright guys, so I know I went through a lot, I blabbed a lot, but this is sort of just a morning chill, talking about what's coming kind of video. I want you to tell me, are you looking forward to Future State, or are you not? As well as, what books are you looking forward to after Future State? Do you plan on picking up any of these series because of the writer or artist or the creative team in general? Or are you planning on dropping any books in particular because of that? I myself tend to go by the method of give them a chance. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm definitely not reading this book because of this person. I'll give it a chance. And then if it sucks, and then I'm out. So I do plan on, just for the record, reviewing the next issue of Detective after Future State to see, hey, maybe she'll prove me wrong and she can write a fantastic Batman. Or, yeah, this turret is sinking one way or another. All right, well, thank you guys. You are all amazing. Thank you for taking your time to listen to me ramble on. Once again, let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to help support this channel. We need all the help we can get. Like, subscribe. I've been working on improving things. I've got a new camera. Next, I'm working on some new lighting to try to enhance what I do even more. So if you want a channel that covers all things nerd, video games, comic books, and just odd and end chat, things like that, this might be the channel for you. Thank you very much, and until next time, keep it frugal.